Hello, YouTube. My name is Chris. My friends call me Chopped. Uh, I had a forum nickname a long time ago, Choppedliver, and so I am Choppedliver, and you can just call me Chopped. Um, so I've been watching reaction videos for a long time, and I recently decided to get started on my own reaction videos, and I know I'm going to be horrible at it at first, but maybe that's part of the fun, right? Ultimately, I just want to marry my soulmate, and I'm hoping to generate some side income and make that dream happen sooner. I want to be able to travel the world and or at least travel to the United States. That would be nice. There's so many cool places in the United States I want to go with my girlfriend, and that's our passion. And so, uh, if you want to help us achieve our goals, please like, follow, subscribe, whatever. Uh, and Lewis here is one of my favorite reactors, and so I'm going to react as an American reacting to a British reacting to the America's new Super F-22 Raptor. And I was in the military, and I'm a big military buff. I love the F-22. I think it's the most beautiful plane ever made. It is just absolutely gorgeous. It's an amazing uh, testament to engineering. It's one of my all-time favorite planes. So uh, I'm going to react to Lewis here reacting. He's one of my favorite guys. I might make fun of him a little bit, but it's all in good fun. And so let's get started.
F-22 Raptor, $7.8 billion investment. Bro, that number is crazy. Really excited to get into this and check out the new Super F-22. Before
That number is crazy.
we do, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button. It cracks me up. These British guys, they don't ever enunciate their T's, which I think is hilarious. But every night I watch these videos, and he always says, "Hit that subscribe button." And so, I guess maybe I'll be asking people to hit the subscribe button. This is only my second video ever. So anyway, let's go.
Let's just straight to see what we got.
The F-22 Raptor is the U.S. Air Force's premier fifth-generation aircraft, often hailed as one of the most advanced fighter jets in the world.
Mad.
It is.
Its combination of stealth, supercruise, extreme maneuverability, and integrated avionics represents an exponential leap in warfighting capabilities.
Bro, the way it just flies through the sky is so cool, man.
The Raptor performs both air-to-air.
If you've ever seen this thing in person, it is absolutely crazy. It does look like it's bending the laws of physics as when you compare it to other airplanes that don't have thrust vectoring. It can just do some crazy stuff. So yeah.
Air and air-to-ground missions that are vital to the 21st century Air Force.
Okay.
Despite advancements in military technology, this aircraft remains unmatched, earning its reputation as nearly invincible.
Mad. Yo,
However,
imagine having a jet that's known as nearly invincible, bro.
Its future became
Nearly invincible. So the F-15 is practically invincible, and it's what, 35 years old, 40 years old? I don't even know. They've upgraded it years and over the years, and the F-15 in actual combat has never been shot down. It has a perfect record.
a top.
And I've read somewhere that the F-22 in fighter games or whatever against F-15s, like one F-22 shot down like numerous F-15s. So this thing can take on the airplane that has a perfect record. So yeah, it's pretty invincible.
Topic of debate in the Pentagon's fiscal year 2025 budget.
Okay.
The U.S. Air Force sought to retire.
Of course, I have to say that this is fighter games, fighter jet games. Although they try to make them as realistic as possible, there's still the F-22 hasn't actually gone up against any other enemies in actual real life that we know of anyway. So
Entire 250 aging aircraft, including
Right?
32 non-combat worthy F-22
Look at that
Raptors,
thing.
to save $2 billion.
just look how beautiful that plane is. I have no words. It is, you know, the SR-71, the F-22, the A-10, and the F-16 are my 4 all-time favorite planes. The F-16 reminds me of a hummingbird, a really badass hummingbird. It's so small, and this thing is like a majestic bird, a huge bird, like an eagle. Oh, of course, we already have an eagle, like a raptor, but like a raptor. If the F-16 is like a honey badger had relations with a hummingbird, in my opinion, and then the F-22 is just like this big badass raptor. You know, if you ever saw these two things, an F-16 sitting side by side with these, this is a massive plane.
The House Armed Services Committee blocked the retirement of these fifth-generation fighters, emphasizing their continued relevance for future conflicts.
Right.
Congress believes maintaining the F-22 fleet is essential until the next-generation air dominance NGAD fighter jet is ready.
The what
A
jet?
congressional staffer, generation air dominance NGAD fighter jet
NGAD fighter. What's that?
is ready.
Next Generation Air Dominance, NGAD. It's an acronym.
A congressional staffer said, the decision to block the retirement of several F-22s stems from the reality that, even 2 decades after it started entering service, the Raptor remains the best air superiority fighter today.
It's the best.
This is not an
Yo,
easy
yeah, why would you retire the best? If you got the best, why would you retire that?
decision.
Because our government is stupid.
Lockheed Martin.
Wait, what's that?
This is not an easy decision. Lockheed Martin, the manufacturer, closed the Raptor's production line in 2011
Okay.
to dedicate resources to the F-35 Lightning II fighter. As a result, the F-22 fleet has faced serious maintenance issues.
I would take an F-22 any day over the F-35. Yeah, F-35 is a little newer, but I'll take the F-22 any day.
With a lack of spare parts,
Right.
forcing Air Force technicians to cannibalize older aircraft and transfer their components to the active fleet. Maintaining the F-22 Raptor in the air for longer will cost the Air Force.
Look how big those control surfaces are on this thing. This may not be the best angle, but the thing has massive control surfaces, which I'm pretty sure aids in its maneuverability.
Several $billion. Nonetheless, Congress believes
Wow.
this is still the best option. No other aircraft can do the job the F-22 does so well.
Well, yeah, no brainer then. Yo, if no other aircraft you have could do as good of a job as the F-22, then you gotta keep that, right?
Since production started in 2005 and ended in 2011, the Air Force received 186 F-22 Raptors. No new F-22s will be built, meaning what we have is what we've got.
Okay.
Today, less than 130 of these aircraft are operational. Exact numbers are classified.
I like how they talk about, well, they may not have said it here, but they always talk about how expensive the F-22 is. But the reason it's expensive is because the idiots said, we're going to buy all these planes, right? And then they developed it. And then they said, no, we don't need as many of it as we thought. So they have to amortize the entire cost over a much smaller number of planes. So of course it becomes a very expensive plane. They did the same thing with the stealth bomber.
Despite ongoing efforts by the Chinese military to develop technologies and strategies capable of detecting and tracking the F-22 Raptor and other U.S. stealth aircraft, this fighter jet remains the premier solution for air-to-air combat. The F-22 possesses a sophisticated sensor suite that allows the pilot to track, identify, shoot, and kill air-to-air threats before being detected.
Bro, that's
The Air Force-
yo. Bro, what kind of fight is that, dude? Bro, you're entering a fight and you can literally blow up the other jet before they even detect you, bro.
Shoot and kill air-to-air threats before being detected.
Crazy.
The Air Force plans to replace the Raptor with the NGAD fighter,
What's that?
a sixth-generation aircraft with manned and unmanned options. The NGAD is intended to be the most advanced air superiority fighter jet in history.
I've never heard of it.
However, the aircraft is still some years off.
Okay.
And in the meantime, the Air Force will have to make do with its current fleet.
Yo, I could not wait.
They'll have to make do with its current fleet. Yeah, it's the F-15's never even been shot down. And I know that there's, you know, some new planes out there like the Su-57 from Russia and like the Japanese J-20, I think it's what they called it, but which they just ripped off as from the F-22 by spying on us and stealing our top secret documents. So that might be a pretty good threat, but there's a lot to be said for ripping off the technology and actually implementing the technology, and also how skilled are your pilots. And so anyway,
for the NGAD video, is there a video on the NGAD? Bro, we're a few years off, but yo, that just sounds insane.
Including the F-22. Despite being introduced over 2 decades ago, the F-22 remains a formidable force in the skies.
Right.
What makes the F-22 great in a dogfight
2 decades ago, the B-52 bomber has been flying since the 50s.
is the aircraft.
I mean, 20 years is not old. You know, they make it sound like it's old, but the F-30 or the F-15 is, I don't even remember, it's in the 70s, late 60s it was developed, I believe. Somebody check me on that. It's pretty old though, and it's just constantly been updated. So, you know, why couldn't you just constantly update the latest thing? I don't really understand the way our government works and why they'd like to retire things earlier than they need
Craft's
to.
thrust vectoring capabilities.
Yeah, that's so
Its
cool.
2 engines have specially designed nozzles at their ends that can move on a vertical plane to vector the aircraft's 70,000 pounds of thrust in one direction, even if
So the thrust vectoring on this thing gives it insane maneuverability. To me, it's like a rear-wheel drive car versus a forklift. You know, in a rear-wheel drive car, your rear wheels do not steer, and so they basically push the vehicle forward, or the airplane or whatever. With the thrust vectoring nozzles, the pushing mechanism in the back, which is your engine, can also move, so it can basically steer the vehicle, the airplane, from the back. It's exactly like a forklift, and it makes it so it can do some really amazing aerial maneuvers. Just like a forklift is extremely maneuverable because it can steer from the back.
if the aircraft is heading in another, thus allowing the F-22 to perform impressive acrobatics,
Look at that.
That's
as well as
crazy.
manage an extremely high angle
How
of attack
tight
during a
that
within
circle
visual
is.
range engagement or dogfight.
That's the
With the
forklift
ability
of
to
the
fly-
sky.
Yo, yeah, how you gonna fight this, bro? It can literally do flips like that, dude.
Yep.
It's gonna be going that way a second, and then that second is going the other way, bro.
During a within visual range engagement or dogfight. With the ability to fly at speeds upwards of 1,500 miles per hour and carve through the sky with its stealth technology, the F-22 has certainly earned the title King of the Sky.
Mad.
One standout maneuver.
Yo, if I was a pilot, right, I would actually, this must be the most fun flying you can do, bro. Surely. Getting in one of these and flying one of these would be so fun if
Oh
you're
my
a
God.
pilot, dude.
I could die a happy
You
man
can't
if I
fly.
could. If I could fly
One
in one of
standout
these.
maneuver that showcases the F-22's agility is the J-turn. This advanced aerial maneuver allows the Raptor to quickly reverse direction using a combination of a high angle of attack and rolling, enabling it
Mad.
to evade enemy fire or gain a tactical edge in dogfights. The F-22 can also perform the Cobra maneuver. The pilot pitches the aircraft's nose up to a vertical position, momentarily slowing the forward momentum. It then quickly pitches back down, resuming level flight. This sudden change in speed and direction can throw off pursuing
Come on, Lewis, you got to come on over to the United States sometime. We'll go to an air show and see the F-22 in person. What do you say?
aircraft, allowing the F-22 to gain a tactical advantage or evade
Bro.
a threat.
Yo,
Look at that.
right there, it's literally flying up and forward.
Tactical advantage
Bro,
or
that's
evade a
crazy.
threat. Another impressive maneuver is the split S. The pilot half rolls their aircraft inverted and executes a descending half loop, resulting in level flight in the opposite direction at...
I mean, it's not the only plane in the world that can do some of these maneuvers, but it also has stealth, high rate of speed, and it's just, I mean, it's an advanced avionics. The thing is extremely deadly and by far my all-time favorite. And the most beautiful looking plane I've ever seen.
At a lower altitude.
And a lot of people say that the F-35 is really nice to look at, but it doesn't have the same pleasing proportions. It's just, you know, the F-22 reminds me of like a beautiful Lamborghini or what's that other one? The McLaren or something like that. It's just the most beautiful plane by far, in my opinion.
Altitude.
Do you know what? You've got to be very skilled and very...
Of course, I have to throw the SR-71 in there as well, but that's beautiful in its own different way.
Talented to do this. Because watching him in the cockpit like this, right? It must be so trippy and confusing spinning about so much like that, dude.
Also, pedal turn maneuver, loaded roll maneuver, slow speed pass, tail slide, and more. These maneuvers highlight the F-22's advanced aerodynamics and control systems, making it one of the deadliest fighter jets in the world. The F-22 is quite versatile.
I genuinely don't even understand how it does that. Like, it's got engine... Bro, it just has engines all around, man. It could go any direction, bro. Look at that. So,
this plane is never flying very slow. And it reminds me of some maneuvers that you can do in these small prop planes that you see at air shows and stuff.
The F-22 is quite versatile when it comes to the armament it can carry. It is equipped with a variety of weapons that enhance its combat capabilities.
Right.
The Raptor can carry 6 AIM-120 AMRAAMs and 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders in its internal weapons bays, maintaining its stealth profile while being ready for both long-range and short-range engagements. For close air support or precision strike missions, the F-22 can carry 2 JDAMs or 8 small-diameter bombs. An internally mounted M61A2 Vulcan 20mm rotary cannon is embedded in the airplane's right wing root, with the muzzle covered by a retractable door. According to Air and Space Forces magazine, the Air Force plans to spend $7.8 billion on the F-22.
Yeah, I got a question. Where's the toilet?
Where's the toilet?
How?
I think they poop in their suit. They have like some kind of like diaper or something. Yeah, there's no toilet there, dude.
How did it? Let's say they're in there for long period of times. How did they get a toilet?
The funds will go towards research.
Did they just wear like a nappy?
Development, testing, and upgrades. Although considered the best fighter jet of all time, the F-22 lacks some capabilities of newer jets like the F-35 and F-15EX. Over the past 40 years, the Air Force...
So upgrade it. You've been upgrading the freaking F-15 for the last 30, 40 years. It just said it lacks some of the things that the F-15 has. Well, the F-15's older, so just upgrade the damn thing.
Has focused on maintaining a fleet of world-class fighter aircraft to ensure air superiority in future conflicts, starting with the F-15 Eagle and later the F-22 Raptor. Now, the Air Force believes the time has come for a new aircraft, driven in part by the advancements of the Russian Su-57.
Yeah. The Su-57 has yet to be proven. I mean, I think they barely have any, and sure, it's a good plane, but, you know, the F-15 was we built the F-15 as a, to counter some Russian plane back in the 70s or whatever that was supposed to be super badass, and then it turned out to be not so great after all, after we captured one. So, I don't know. I don't think we have a whole lot of data on what the Su-57 can really do.
Felon, and the Chinese J-20 Mighty Dragon 5th...
Yep, ripped off the F-22 with that one.
...generation fighters. The forthcoming...
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They're probably not as good as the F-22, but that is a badass name. Mighty Dragon.
And the Chinese J-20 Mighty Dragon 5th generation fighters.
Mighty Dragon.
The forthcoming 6th generation jet, NGAD fighter, is expected to enter service in the early 2030s.
Okay. Wait, bro, is this Star Wars?
To enter service in the early 2030s.
What's that?
Lewis cracks me up. He's so animated.
Okay.
I think Lewis would be a fun guy to hang out with, not gonna lie.
Man, yo, the future is gonna be crazy, bro. AIs and lasers, dude. Huh? Oh, this is Star Wars. This is Star Wars.
The F-22 entered service in 2005, so a planned retirement in 2030 would give it one of the shortest service lives of any modern.
How stupid would that be to retire the best plane that we've ever made in 2030? That's like 6 years from now. The B-52 bomber is going to be flying until 2050. It's going to be 100 years old when we retire it. In fact, the B-52 has been flying, like aviation was only like 50 years old when it was designed. So anyway, the idea of retiring the F-22 in 6 years is just stupid. But, you know, that's our government, so who knows?
Modern U.S. military aircraft.
Okay.
It is normal for the services to retire older aircraft as their replacements come online.
Right.
So the push to retire older F-22s was not surprising. Investing in new upgrades for the F-22 signals that the Air Force intends to keep them around, likely for another decade. Lockheed is not fully staffed with engineers, warned Lieutenant General Richard G. Moore, Jr., the Air Force's Vice Chief of Staff for Plans and Programs, at the Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies. So, if we were to initiate an effort like this, it would be reasonable to expect they would have to pull some engineering talent from the F-35 program, probably from Block 4, to accomplish it. I don't think that is a worthwhile trade for us. Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin commented on upgrading older F-22s. He said, "We're looking to be able to take those that are the most combat capable.
I'm with Lewis on this. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that thing. It looks beautiful from every angle. It is just, it's like, I get the same like reaction or when I see this that I see when I see like a really beautiful woman. It's just sexy and beautiful and amazing. If you've ever seen the SR-71 in person, that is an amazing looking plane as well. But it looks more like some kind of weird alien technology, even though it was designed in the 50s. But it's still an amazing and beautiful looking plane.
Keep them in the fight, and then leverage some of the resources for those that are going to be cost prohibitive and time prohibitive. This strategy highlights the Air Force's focus on maximizing the effectiveness and longevity of its most advanced fighters while managing budget and time constraints efficiently. By prioritizing upgrades for the most capable
how come that flame's purple?
Constraints efficiently.
Why is that purple?
By prioritizing upgrades for the most capable aircraft, the Air Force aims to maintain a formidable air combat force. This approach ensures that even as new technologies and aircraft are developed, the existing fleet remains potent and ready for any challenges that arise.
Yo, am I like the only one here? I'm guessing a load of people are thinking the same, bro. I don't know how to fly, and I would be scared of flying them, but I really want to fly one. But even if I had the opportunity to do so, I wouldn't be able to, bro. I'd be so scared, man.
However, Air Force officials have also repeatedly made it clear that maintaining older F-22s shouldn't come at the expense of slowing the development of NGAD or impacting the currently active F-35 Lightning II program.
This NGAD sounds good,
There have been concerns that the Block 20 Raptors may not be competitive with China's J-20 Mighty Dragon fighters.
Oh, really?
Moore further dismissed calls for the F-22 Block 20 fighters to be used for training, stating, "They will never be a part of the combat force.
Oh, wow.
They don't have the most modern communications. They don't shoot the most modern weapons.
Okay.
They don't have the
all of that can be upgraded.
most modern electronic
The F-15 is decades older, and it's got some newer stuff than this does. It can all be upgraded.
Warfare capabilities. On paper, the J-20 has several significant advantages over the F-22, and the older Block 20 may not be the air superiority fighter.
Let's see, I think that's an F5, and that's an F5. The T-38 Talon is a trainer version of this, I believe. And what is that? It looks like an old World War II P-51 Mustang or something. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I doubt it, because it's probably something more modern, but anyway.
Fighter the U.S. Air Force needs. However, the modernized Raptors still have the capability to take down the mighty Dragon. The F-22 will remain essential for the Air Force.
Yo, I need to check out this mighty Dragon, bro. It's actually that good.
But only until the NGAD takes to the skies.
This NGAD sounds insane. Yo, everyone better get scared of this.
The NGAD fighter represents the future of air combat, promising advancements that will surpass the most modernized F-22s and F-35s. As these technologies are developed, the Air Force will transition to a more advanced fleet, capable of addressing emerging threats and maintaining air superiority. In the interim, the strategy of upgrading the most combat-capable F-22s ensures that the U.S. maintains a robust defense posture.
Right.
The focus remains on leveraging current assets to their fullest potential while preparing for the next leap in military aviation technology. Thank you.
Wow. Yo, the F-22s are so badass and cool, but I'm like really excited to see a video on this NGAD now. Bro, that looks insane. And I see the laser weapon on it, bro. So welcome to the future, man. But really cool video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on Twitch.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
TV4/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out.
Lewis is my hero. This is my second video, and one of these days I'm going to be like Lewis with his 1,500 videos and his 200,000 followers. So
see
you
you all in next one.
You inspired me, Lewis. Oh, how did you do that? Oh, I'm gonna have to figure out how you do that. So
Bad guy to baloney miss technology, ladies and gentlemen.
So anyway, that was my second reaction video, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this, make everything look nice, sound nice. I got to figure out how to do thumbnails and you know, all that other jazz and stuff. But I'm Choppedliver. If you want to help me marry my girlfriend, follow me, subscribe, and help me generate some followers so I can take care of some of my financial issues and marry my soulmate and travel the world, because ultimately that's my goal. So thank you, my friends. Till next time.